I hear you could talk to fish.
I hear you can talk to money.
It's my secret. I mean, it's my power.
What's your power?
I'm rich.
What's the one that he says to? Is it Cyborg? Oh, so you can talk to computers.
Yeah, he does say that.
He says it. They gave him the joke.
This is episode 47 of the Up on Edge podcast. Today we'll be talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
That is not a mistake. I forced Caroline to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Tony, is this revenge for all the films I've made you see for Romancing the Stone?
For episodes 1 through 46?
For for episodes 1 through 46 and 48 and going forward.
48 and forward.
48 to infinity and beyond.
No, I think it's a legitimately interesting movie to talk about.
There's a lot of backstory to this film, all in the film itself and between us, because we both have very polarizing opinions about this movie, and we've discussed.
I think we need to start with some topics before we even get to the movie.
I agree.
First, I think we need to start with, oddly enough, our DCEU credentials, because I think this is our first DCEU movie.
We've
done the Batman.
Yeah.
But that's a good movie.
That's art. It's a masterpiece.
That's just a good movie.
I'm quoting your meme on that one.
This is a DCEU. Yeah. What's our relationship with that, Caroline?
Not only a DCEU, but a Snyderverse film.
Yeah.
Why don't you start?
There's a lot of baggage here.
Let's start with the positives. I don't want to.
All right, 2013, Man of Steel released, and it shook the world.
It shook your world. Yeah.
It was an incredible movie, Caroline. The trailer, in your opinion, trailer number 3 has not been topped.
You know what? You're right. That trailer is a work of art.
Keep talking.
That trailer inspired a plethora of people to believe again, to believe that superheroes are real and they're still here.
You will stumble, you will fall, but in time, they will join you in the sun. We get to hear that in this movie.
Now I get to download that trailer for the highlight. Woo.
Yeah, so I'm more of a Marvel guy. Maybe not so much now, but DCEU, I saw it in passing. I think I've seen every single DCEU movie.
I think you have, yeah. Wow.
You know, it's not very good. It has its ups and downs. I did like Man of Steel. Batman v Superman was an atrocity. I took my dad to go see it, and I was embarrassed.
I took my parents to go see Man of Steel, and they really don't like that movie. And they disliked it so much, they were like, we don't want to go see any DC movies with you anymore.
With you specifically, so they watch it by themselves.
No, like they haven't seen a DCEU film since Man of Steel. Anytime a trailer comes out and it looks kind of interesting and the title hasn't played yet, my mom will go, oh, what movie is that? And I'll be like, oh, it's a DC film. And she goes, nah. Like, she immediately writes it off.
What about the Batman?
They were not excited for that one either. And that one's unfair because the Batman is so great. But
Man of Steel is so great. They didn't even make it to Suicide Squad.
Oh, thank God. Nobody should have made it to Suicide Squad.
I'm surprised we all made it past Suicide Squad.
I'm surprised that's the movie that didn't get canceled and Batgirl is. Like, wow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think we have to get into all the drama of DC right now, but we're definitely it's going to pop up.
DC,
but not in detail.
The DC movies are, I think, the somatic definition of a hot mess. It's just...
Oh, yeah.
Great characters, but no organization.
Yeah.
And that's like, my credentials are, I was originally a DC kid. I grew up watching so many DC properties and being such a DC nerd. Hardcore Batman. I love the animated series. I watched every episode when it would premiere. Teen Titans, Justice League, the animated show, just the works. I loved DC. I even saw all like those cartoon movies, those animated films that was like Justice League Doom and Justice League War and things like that. I love those movies. Love the DC characters. I've read so many of their comics as a teenager. And then the MCU happened. And I was like, what? I When I was growing up, the only real superhero I knew from Marvel was Spider-Man because of all the shows and everything. And so when Iron Man came out, that just I flipped allegiances, I guess. There's no real like we're not going to play that whole kind of console wars strategy of Marvel versus DC. I think you can
Go
consume
Marvel.
I think you can consume and love both medias, but Marvel is definitely winning in terms of the quality of film. And DC, I mean, I don't think I've seen every DC film. I have seen I guess I've seen
Man
the
of
ones
Steel.
I've seen Man of Steel, yeah. I've seen the ones that mattered.
Batman v Superman.
With the exception of Shazam, I haven't seen Shazam. I have seen
Aquaman.
Batman. I have not seen Aquaman. I forgot about him. I'm sorry, Aquaman.
Wonder Woman.
I did see Wonder Woman, yeah.
Wonder Woman 84.
84? Yeah, I saw Wonder Woman 84.
All right.
And
Justice League.
yeah, I saw the original. Well, before the Whedon.
Mm-hmm.
I did see the Whedon
Justice
one.
League.
Oh, I like that. Justice League.
That's a thing, Caroline.
That's
That's
a
a thing. I
thing?
did not make that up. Yeah.
I
That's
was
a
gonna get
thing already.
Wow, I like that. I did see the Justice League.
Did you like that one?
No, I didn't.
I did not see the Justice League.
Oh, so your only view of Justice League is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah. And it's weird because I've seen so many clips online of the Justice League that I felt like I saw it. And when I was watching the movie on my own, and then when we saw it for my second time and your first time, there was lines that I was waiting for.
That didn't
Like,
pop
I
up.
hear you can talk to fish. And others, that
My-
did not come up.
All right.
My
man.
All right.
All right.
Not enough all rights and my mans in this cut.
Yeah, Snyder cut them all out except for one of each.
Surprising, because in 4 hours, I didn't think there'd be anything left to cut out. But he found them. Yeah, but then I'm like, oh man, so that's the Joss Whedon version.
Mm-hmm.
I even thought he was going to say, do you bleed? He didn't say that in this movie, right? He says that in the Justice League.
He says that in the Justice League. There's like an angry Superman and he attacks Batman and he's like, now tell me, do you bleed?
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
And then I feel like I really did see it, because I just watched a lot of clips. There's a whole Russian family, I think, that...
By extension.
Yeah. I absorbed it. I absorbed it through YouTube.
I'll give my take right now. Just
Oh?
comparing the two.
Oh?
I am really glad we got Snyder's Justice League. It
Wow.
is a lot better.
You hear that, Zach? Caroline likes you now.
It is a lot better than the Justice League. I get it. I get why we needed this movie. Also, just it would have been so sad, to me at least, that these great characters, iconic characters, had such a terrible movie. That was their... we're going to use Marvel terms because Marvel is winning in the film industry, obviously. But like,
I thought we weren't going to console war this.
I'm not console warring it. I'm just using terms in a way. I'm waving my
Marvel's
hands like
winning.
I'm nervous.
That's a term.
You know what? You're right. That was wrong of me. I shouldn't say it like that.
All right, go on.
This was their Avengers. This was their team up movie. Their big team up movie was what I was trying to say. And the Justice League one, that would have been a travesty if it stayed that way. It would have been pretty bad. It's not that the movie is so horrendous. Like Suicide Squad, I think, is bottom of the barrel. Suicide Squad is teenager bait, emo bait kind of thing, and it's just so cringe. But this movie just had a lot of mess in it. And with This Justice League, the Zack Snyder one, it gives a lot of context, it gives a lot of time, obviously because it's 4 hours, but also it helps. It helps to let some scenes breathe and to
There was a lot of breathing scenes in this movie.
maybe a little too much, but I would rather have too many breathing scenes than rushing plots with no reasons behind it. That's not to say the Snyder didn't, but there was more in Joss's than Snyder's. It was just a big mess. The original Justice League with the Justice League.
Did Zack redeem himself in your eyes and your heart?
That's something we haven't touched on to the audience is that I'm not a huge Zack Snyder fan. I'm not a big supporter of his. But you know what? This movie did convince me a little bit
To
to
open your heart?
yeah. I feel like the Grinch standing on the mountaintop
Wow.
with the sled full of presents and stuff, and I do feel like this movie did open my heart a little bit more to Snyder.
I'm surprised. So you're very positive on this movie then.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
What do you think of the movie, not compared to Justice League, just a movie?
I think it is okay. I feel like in my heart, it's not. You know what? I think the best way I can describe it, well, no, that's comparing it to Joss's, but it's more like with Joss's, I fell asleep during that movie and I had to wake up, rewind, and kind of force myself through it. And even then, I was still like waiting for it to be over. I was not that way with Snyder's. I was
Is it because you were watching with someone?
That might be it, but also like there were parts in the movie where we weren't talking, we were just kind of taking it in and I don't
Ba-bum,
I don't think
ba-bum, ba-bum.
I know you say that like watching it with somebody affects how you view it, and that's very
Yeah.
true. That's not an untrue statement. But I do think that with this movie, whether I was watching it by myself or with you, I still enjoyed it. That was the thing. Is like I still yes, there were scenes that I didn't like. There's a good maybe like 40% of this movie I was just like, ugh. But the 60 was good stuff. It was
The
really good
60,
stuff.
that's like a good 3 hours.
Yeah, 3
I'd
hours,
try to
hold
do
on.
that.
That's not that's not
That's like
it.
a good 2 hours and
2 and a
20 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe.
That sounds closer. But
So you like
yeah,
a full-length movie from Zack Snyder.
I do.
All right.
You know what? There was a lot about this movie that really redeemed Justice League and Snyder in my eyes. So yeah, I think I can what I don't like about Snyder is just how in your face he is with all of these like they're gods, and that's more of a deeper conversation about how the DCEU, the Snyderverse specifically, was handled in general. I'm not a big fan of that. I've always liked the superheroes kind of being relatable or things like that, and he's very much not that kind of like that's not how he sees the heroes. But other than that, whenever like there was a lot of really good action scenes, a lot of really good scenes where they were just talking and things like that that were really good that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I would say I don't disagree with the okay. Maybe I liked it a little bit more than you actually, but leaving the movie, I guess just my bedroom because that's where I saw it. Leaving the movie and getting to think about it, I thought, it wasn't bad. It
It's
was
not
bad.
it's not bad. I think that's
Yeah,
a good way to label it. It's not bad.
but it didn't have to be 4 hours.
No, it
Not in the
didn't.
slightest.
Not at all. You could cut Lois Lane scenes out completely. Maybe 2 scenes of her being sad in the rain.
I say every
2.
Lois Lane scene until Superman shows up
I think every
and the
Lois Lane
pet.
scene until part what, 5? When did they resurrect him?
I don't know.
But whatever part it is, because I feel like that's what the parts are doing. By the way, just side note, everybody, I love the parts. I like that. I like the chapters. I think that was a really cool way of making a 4-hour movie consumable. And I think what also really helped was that it went straight to stream. It was not a theater movie. So the parts kind of give people a way to pause, restroom, get something to eat, do things and then come back.
Not feel like you're wasting 4 hours.
Yeah.
In my case, 8 hours.
Because you
I've seen
saw
this
it.
movie twice.
Yes, you have. Remember, you forced me to watch this. Are you saying you forced
Hey, we
yourself?
we we got on the wheel.
Yeah, but you put it on the wheel.
That was miracle number 1 on the wheel. I was like, hold on. Let's add one more movie and spin it one more time.
Are we
Like, this
gonna
was a movie.
are we gonna make like we used to make Thanos and Shrek references in every episode? Are we just gonna make Top Gun Maverick references in every
I don't
episode?
know. Okay, I would just speak from the heart all the time. You think I planned these things? You think I'm like, all right, this is episode I bring up Thanos. I brought him up now, but whatever.
I don't think you do. I just think it's subconscious in your brain, in your heart, really. Like I can't go an episode, and this is just heart Tony speaking of like I can't
You're
go an
speaking
episode.
as my heart.
Yes.
All right.
I can't go an episode without bringing up Top Gun Masterpiece.
Where is the nearest Publix? Talk to me, Goose.
Did I take my clothes out of the dryer?
That's in my heart?
That's in your mind.
That's my new thing now when I'm driving and the sun is setting.
Talk to me,
Talk to me,
Goose.
Goose. Same thing as sunrise. When I got to put my blinders down because the sun is like hitting my eyes. There you go.
Me when I'm submitting a resume for when I'm job hunting and I click submit on a resume, I'm going, talk to me, Dad.
You see? We got to do another Top Gun Maverick episode.
Revisiting Top Gun Maverick.
Does it hold up?
It does.
It does. Even more so.
Everybody, thank you for listening to the episode.
Catch our Top Gun Maverick Part 2 episode.
Our full episode.
Next week. All right. We have to talk about #release a Snyder Cut.
The movement that led to us getting this film.
Yeah, it was a wild ride.
I feel like you know more about it than I do, so can you give me as much as you know, knowledge about this?
I know about it very vaguely and surface level, but it has been going on since 2017, the release of the Justice League. And then after that, Snyder fans united in full force, and they typed up release a Snyder Cut. And that hashtag never died. And I don't know the timeline of events, but there was a lot going on around this. There was a change.org petition being signed. I think it got like over 100,000 signatures. Eventually, the cast and crew for whatever movies they would have to promote. I'm pretty sure Jason Momoa was the first one to acknowledge the Snyder Cut. And I think they were like under contract to not talk about it or whatever. But he was just like, yeah, I want to see it. All right. When he was promoting Aquaman. So this was probably like 2018 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't think I'm getting the events, timeline of events correct. But just everything that happened. And then eventually Snyder himself, he started like tweeting out pictures, I think, of like, yeah, you guys are right. Like it's been maybe like 2 or 3 years of people saying, release the Snyder Cut. This one sucks. Obviously, Snyder has his version. He had to leave early because, his the tragedy that happened with his daughter. So they're like, there's got to be his version out there. And then it was actually kind of like a joke. And I want to ask you, were you like team Snyder Cut? Like, did you believe it was a thing, that it would come out, that it would happen at all? Did you believe any of that?
Yeah, I did actually. I did believe that. Well, what I didn't think of it as like a joke. Some people were using it as like a joke on Twitter.
It was becoming a joke, like, released a blank cut.
Yeah.
And it's never
even
happened,
with like Suicide Squad, it was like release the Ayer cut. And stuff
release
like
the Ayer cut.
But I definitely believed that there was a Snyder Cut, especially I feel like it's inevitable with the way that whole process happened with Snyder leaving and Joss stepping in, I figured there has to be. Like, he had his own vision for the film, and then
Did you believe it would ever come out?
no, I didn't. I figured what we got was what we got.
Yeah. And I think that's reasonable. It's like, no, they can't do that. Why would they do that? That makes no sense.
Yeah, it's like they've already got a budget for this movie. They're not going to re-release it.
But I think the stars started to align, because 2017, this was even pre HBO Max.
Oh yeah, you're
So,
right.
like, how would they release this? It won't be a theatrical release. I think the Blu-ray was already out and they wouldn't put it on a Blu-ray. It's just like, that's it. It's not happening.
And they're not going to like put it on YouTube where they can't monetize it.
Yeah. Or I guess, YouTube, you could sell it through YouTube and Amazon and stuff, but no, it's not happening. Up to this point, it's just something that wouldn't happen. But then, yeah, Zach started like tweeting out these pictures, like concept art and stuff of his cut, his version. And I saw one of them. I didn't dig too deep, but I saw one of them was the Flash scene, the where he's turning back time near the end and he's holding his hand up.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's my favorite scene. And that's the scene I had to show you when I was done watching it by myself. I'm like, hey, look, I know you're probably never gonna watch this, but I have to show you this part because it's crazy good what happens here.
and it's crazy because that's the hook that got me into being like, okay, I might be open to watching this movie.
Right?
I was completely obstinate to ever watching this movie, and then you were like, I know you're never going to see it, but I have to show you this clip.
I was also against it too. I guess I was just like, oh, why not? It was like a part of cinematic history now. Like, how often does this happen? Or whatever. Let me watch it. But yeah, I wasn't gonna watch it. I didn't even watch the Justice League. Joss Whedon's. But anyway, so he tweets that out, and then it starts getting more traction. Because it gave these people hope. He's like, there really is one. Because up to this point, people are just
It's been
assuming.
like a conspiracy theory.
Almost, yeah. And they're just going off of like common knowledge. Like, he has to have footage that he didn't use. And there were also stories coming out like, oh yeah, there's like a 4-hour uncut version, blah blah blah. And then that's why they brought in Joss to like cut it up and finish up the movie. But he started doing his own scenes and adding his own flavor, and it became what it was. But yeah, Zach basically confirmed that. I think this was like 2 or 3 years later after the original Justice League came out. And I think he dropped those pictures and it started becoming a thing. And then that's it. That was enough hope to keep everyone going.
To turn that smoldering flame into a raging fire.
Exactly. And I forgot the exact day it was, but I remember when they announced, like, all right, HBO Max is going to be a thing. We're going to release Zack Snyder's Justice League.
The headlining act, the headlining release
I
for
personally
HBO
couldn't believe
Max.
it. I'm like, they willed this into existence. They did, because I never typed hashtag release a Snyder Cut.
Yep,
I was not
same.
behind that movement.
I was not a participant in
I
this.
only said it as a joke for every other thing.
Verbally among a group of friends and not online where it could be seen.
And I thought it was actually really, alignment of the stars because also, HBO Max became a thing at this point. This was also only 1 year after the pandemic. So people were still at home. People were still looking for streamable content and things to do at
Hmm.
home. So yeah, in March of 2021, that's when the Zack Snyder Justice League dropped, March 18th. And I did not watch it by this point. I saw it much later, but a lot of people liked it. I thought I was ready to see all the rotten reviews, but it was good. I don't know where it's sitting at now, actually. I didn't check.
Ooh, I
But
should check that one.
overall, positive impressions. And I think well deserved. I think yeah, after everything that Zach went through, after everything that the fans went through, the real fans really rallying for this, I think this is a very good movie for them, and I'm glad it came out, and it's now a very interesting part of movie history because how often does this happen?
I think this is a once in a lifetime thing that this is happening I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's pretty fair. It
What
is.
is it?
It's a 71% on the critic side
Uh huh.
and a 94 on the
Oh
audience.
my gosh,
Yeah,
guys,
they
it's not
love
that good.
it. It's not that good. Let's be real here,
Come
people.
on, come
But
on.
those, I feel like those are the Snyder boys. Like those are
These are
the,
like, we got it. Yeah,
yeah.
it exists.
This is the how many? There's over 25,000 audience
The rating
ratings.
is, does it exist? Yes. All right. 100%. And not to mention all the other like parallels of how they got Joss Whedon, director of Avengers, to come and edit Justice League.
Yeah,
A whole bunch
wow.
of little details that you could go into, but we have it now, Caroline.
We have it. It's here,
Yeah.
and I've finally seen it.
And now we're watching it post Zack Snyder. We have a lot more information now.
Yeah, you're right.
We're post hashtag restore the Snyderverse. We're post Amber Heard court cases.
Oh my gosh,
We're
yeah.
post
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller crime spree.
Yep.
There's a lot going on in this
Ezra
movie
Miller getting mad at a karaoke bar in Hawaii.
multiple times.
We're post Ray Fisher
Yeah, Ray Fisher.
and his
I forgot his deal. Did he not like Joss Whedon
he
or something?
he said he experienced a lot of racism and harassment from specifically Whedon on the set of Justice League.
I feel like this is when Joss's reputation started tanking.
It definitely, I feel like it started plateauing with the release of his script for Wonder Woman. Did you ever see that buzz?
His script for the first Wonder Woman?
Yeah, he pitched to direct Wonder Woman, and he had a script already penned for it. And
Okay.
I don't know how it got released, but people started reading into it, found a lot of cringy stuff. It was, I thought at first, like, oh, the guy who did Buffy the Vampire doing Wonder Woman, that might work. But
Yeah, he should know.
yeah, but no, apparently not. He really, okay, this is just according to, this is not my first impression, so please take what I say with a grain of salt. This is what I read other people were saying about his Wonder Woman, was that he sexualized her too much. She was too much of a damsel in distress. He made a lot of like lesbian jokes about the Amazonian women, and there was another thing that I couldn't remember, but there was just an overwhelming of like, oh, thank God he didn't do Wonder
Did he
Woman.
have a scene where somebody fell on her boobs?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
he got it in his Justice League,
but I'm
but
glad
maybe he wanted it earlier.
you wanted it earlier. I'm glad Patty Jenkins did her thing with Wonder Woman. I like Wonder Woman.
Are
But
you glad she did her thing with Wonder Woman 84?
well,
Well,
well, it's okay. It's not Suicide Squad. But yeah, that was when I started seeing Whedon's reputation start plateauing a bit. And then obviously like Age of Ultron wasn't that well received. And that's when they started getting the Russo
yeah,
bros.
only 1.3 bill in the box office.
Only 1.3 bill.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think that this movie definitely started to tank it a bit, the Justice League one.
Oh, let me throw in some quick fun facts because I wrote the box office for Justice League.
Oh yeah, please.
In 2017, the grand box office was 657.9 mil total
What? Whoa. For Justice League?
for Justice League. Justice
Justice
League.
League.
Compared that to, it's not even fair, but
That's
Avengers in
yeah.
2012,
Yeah.
1.5 bill. And then just as an example, the movies in the MCU that is closer with
Mhm.
Thor: The Dark World,
Whoa.
644
The lowest one.
and then and Doctor Strange actually
Doctor Sh-
676 mil. This is the
I
first Doctor
didn't
Strange.
I didn't know Doctor Strange hit pretty low in the box office by Marvel standards. Wow.
If I was looking at phase, well, I saw all the movies actually, but Phase One is very interesting because they're all relatively low compared to what they do now. But yeah, like Captain America was like in the 300s, like mid 300 mil. Iron Man was probably like 500 or something. Like all of them are really low. And then all of a sudden you see Avengers, boom, blows everything out of the water, 1.5 bill.
Yeah, I
Kind of
guess
crazy.
that's when the general public started realizing that there was an idea,
Exactly.
and they were like, "Okay, we're catching on now."
Yeah, yeah.
But back to DC.
DC. It's crazy how little people cared about this Justice League movie in theaters.
What it was supposed to release? Oh no, I'm thinking of BVS, and they moved BVS because of Civil War, right?
Yeah, I love that story so much.
But did Justice League have a like what year did it come out and what Marvel movie came out that year? 2017.
So it was November 17, 2017. 2017, I forgot which Marvel movie it was, closer to November, but I know it was the first Spider Man. So Spider Man Homecoming
Oh,
was that year. I'm pretty sure Ragnarok was that year. Um,
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
yeah, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Wow.
But which one was closer to this release? To
I'm looking.
November, do you think?
I'm
It
looking.
should be Ragnarok, I think.
November. Oh yeah, I think it is Ragnarok.
Do you see when Ragnarok came out? What month?
November 3rd.
Oh, well, there you go.
Came out the week before. It made 854 million.
Taika's grand entrance.
It is good.
It is good.
It is good. Thor Ragnarok. If I was going to the theater and they were like, "Do you want to see Justice League or Thor Ragnarok?" I'd be like, "Thor Ragnarok."
I mean, you actually made that decision.
I
You didn't
did,
see
yeah.
Justice League, right?
I did it. I saw Ragnarok. I
You didn't see
witnessed.
Justice League in theaters, right?
No, I saw it. It was free on Prime. That's how I saw it.
Oh wow, they're begging people to watch it.
They were. They were saying, "Hey, here's our movie. It's free with Prime. You can see it.
You're like,
Come
I
on." And
guess.
what's crazy is that wasn't even our first choice. I was watching Isle of Dogs with Davey. And when we finished Isle of Dogs, we were crying our eyes out because, of course, it's a dog movie. And
No
then we were,
spoilers.
and then we were like, "Hey, you know what's there were two free movies that were our other options. It was Ready Player One and Justice League.
Ooh,
And we started Ready Player One, and about 20 minutes in, we looked at each other and said, I was like, "Are you interested in this movie?" And he goes, "No." I said, "All right, let's back out."
that's
So we,
surprising.
yeah, I just, I didn't enjoy it that much. And then I was like, "Do you want to see Justice League?" And he goes, "Yeah, okay, put on Justice League." So that's when we put it on.
And then 20 minutes in, you're like, "Are you enjoying this?" Like, "Oh yeah, bro, keep playing."
All right.
All right,
All
my man.
right.
5 minutes after that, snoring. I saw Ready Player One. I think like the start of the third act on a plane. I did not like what I was seeing.
It was a plain movie. That's how you know it's
Too
already like
many characters in there.
I was already feeling the nostalgic cringe from it in the beginning. And then I looked at Davey and he was fully engrossed in a mobile game on his phone.
Oh,
And
when is he
I
not?
so true. But at least cuz I'm a little bit of the same if I'm watching a movie that I'm somewhat interested in or a movie I've already seen multiple times, I'll play a mobile game on my phone and hear it in the background, but I still like to like what I'm hearing, you know what I mean? I still like
It needs to sound entertaining.
it at
It
least
can't just
needs
be background.
it can't just be like nonsense. I've got to like it.
I always
And
give a movie my undivided attention, unless I
that
go to sleep.
that's you, Tony. We're talking about me. So that was when I saw Davey fully engrossed in his phone. I was like, "Hey, are you enjoying this?" And he goes, "No, not really." And I said, "Can I change the
That's
movie?" And
because he
he
doesn't know what it was about. He doesn't even know the plot.
I know the plot, and I wasn't impressed.
You read it on Wikipedia. You don't know what it was about either.
I haven't read it on Wikipedia. I have no idea what Ready Player One is about other than what the trailer showed me. That it's like,
Did you just admit you don't know what the plot is?
why is that a bad thing?
Because maybe you'll be interested in it. And I don't know why I'm defending this movie because I didn't like it either. But
Yeah.
maybe you'll be interested in it if
Why?
you knew what the plot
What
was.
I'm telling you, I started watching the movie and I didn't like it already from the beginning. I was getting bored. And it's a free movie. I didn't even pay money for this that you would in like a
No
theater.
wonder
You're
you
like,
had no attachment to this
I
movie.
had no interest. I had no investment in this film.
All right.
So I left it as anybody would if they were watching something on a streaming service they didn't like.
Right.
They were like,
Switched over to Justice League.
yeah,
Loved it.
no.
Okay.
Switched over to Justice League and went, wow, that was a hot mess.
Wow. Isle of Dogs is looking real good right now.
Isle of Dogs is the MVP of the night.
Movie of the year.
It was 2018. I think we were like in January.
Okay. Okay.
I know it was winter because we were cold. I just don't remember exactly what year. But yeah, it was free on Prime.
No, you're probably right. Yeah. I think the time adds up. So that was a Snyder cut. Let's
Tony,
get into the movie.
let's get into the movie. I think we've talked enough about the background of it. But I want to ask you,
Mhm.
if we can just go into a positive note, who's the best character in this movie?
Amy Adams, Lois Lane.
Okay, good night, everybody. It's
All
been a
right,
great
guys.
episode.
Tune in next week for
Listen,
that Top Gun Maverick
thank
episode.
you for your. I thought we were doing another film that we already discussed.
We did. I have no idea what we're doing next week, honestly. There is a film already lined up.
I thought we had another film lined up.
You're gonna send it to me right now?
I'm sending it to you in the chat,
Yeah, let me see.
not in the Discord. The other one.
Oh no? What? Oh. I have that minimized always. I'm gonna unminimize.
Oh.
Oh, okay. We have to because I've been hearing
Things.
not good things.
Oh.
I haven't seen a single review about it, but I'm like, oh, these thumbnails. I don't know, Caroline.
I've seen it.
All right. Anyway,
Interesting.
but you're
yeah,
right. Yeah, we have something.
We do have a movie lined up for next week.
It is Top Gun Maverick, by the way, guys.
You would not
thumbnails.
say that about Top Gun Maverick. You would not. Your heart wouldn't let you.
Can I? Is this the right time to bring up that I forced Carl to watch Top Gun and then Top Gun Maverick? Is that a good time?
You did?
Or for another time? Is it for another time?
Probably, but man, I wanted to hear this.
I'll make it quick.
Okay.
Well, while Carl was here, I'm like, you gotta watch Top Gun. Like, I was gonna take him to the theater,
Yeah.
and it wasn't until I got a life-threatening flu. I'm like,
Oh.
we gotta stay home, bro. But
You
we
with
got
your-
Top Gun and
with your
Top Gun
flu
Maverick at
voice.
home. Yeah. So I forced him to watch Top Gun, the first one, because he's like, "Do you have to watch the first one?" I said, "No,
Yeah.
not really, but you know, because there's flashbacks. There's flashbacks in Maverick, and
There
he's like,
is an important relationship aspect that would be good if you had the background information on.
yeah, we have a case study here
We do.
already.
I have the control test.
I didn't want that to happen to Carl, so I'm like, you know what? You could watch it without it, but I think you'll appreciate it more if you do watch it. So like, okay. And then, you know, he humored me. He did. But even watching it again, I'm like, you know, it's all right. It's all right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Top Gun 1 is
Is-
good. It's okay.
It became a classic, I think, because, you know, it was probably like the only jet movie at the time. But anyway,
And how cool it is it was the coolest movie at the time.
it was. And now, and then he was like, you know, I got his hints and his body language. He was like, you know, we could watch like an action movie or whatever. I'm like, I
But
didn't
we're
say it
gonna.
out loud, but I'm like, Carl, you already saw Top Gun. I'm gonna make you watch Maverick now. We got the Top Gun. So I'm like, let me put this on. Don't worry,
You
it's so
powered
much better.
through the wilderness.
Yeah, I'm like, it's so much better. So then I put it on, and I think he was a little hesitant, but then we got him, boys. We got him. He was like so into all the scenes where Maverick was like, the way he explained the missions, the way the jets were looking, and then he was like so into the training,
I
the
mean, that
training
opening
scene.
scene, how do you not become completely engrossed by the opening scene of going Mach 10?
Oh
He's the
yeah,
he's the fastest man alive.
of course.
Talk to me, Goose.
All right, but that's Top Gun Maverick.
That was our mini revisit to Top Gun Maverick. I really hope this episode isn't 4 hours long like the Snyder Cut.
No. We know how to keep it short.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll cut out all the all right,
All right,
my man.
my man.
But we're gonna add in the I hear you could talk to fish.
So you can talk to computers.
So you could talk to lightning bolts.
Kal-El, no.
Kal-El, oh, that's another thing. All right, Snyder fans out there, guys, you don't have to defend this movie so hard, right? Like I saw a YouTube side by side breakdown because I was looking for the Joss Whedon versus Zack Snyder versions of like what was the difference, but I
Mhm.
was running into some commentary sometimes, and they're like, "You see how it sounds so much better in Zack's version compared to Joss's version?"
And there
She
was like
says it the exact same
yeah,
way.
there was like no difference.
They're like, "You see how this one has more emotion?" And she's actually trying to make him stop. It's like, no,
Mm.
no. And you know what's another thing, man? She's gonna be our evil queen. She does not express her face enough. That's what I don't
No.
like.
Gal Gadot is a beautiful woman. She
Absolutely.
is an
She would get a
awesome
100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
she is amazing in her own way. Maybe except for that Imagine video that she put out during the pandemic, but that's her only fault
I
against
related
her.
to that.
Yeah, did you?
We're all trapped at home.
You
I
may
get it.
say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Anyway, she's a beautiful woman, talented in her own ways.
What ways, Caroline?
She is not that. She's a great businesswoman, Tony. I mean, come on,
Okay.
you can't fault her for there. She's talented.
She's a great singer.
Is she?
That was a lot of silence after I said that.
My brain went into a 404 not working kind of. Is she?
You didn't hear her singing during the
The
pandemic?
I I don't want there to be more silence of bewilderment from me. Anyway, but you're right. She's not that expressive when she plays her roles.
Even when she's yelling or when she's supposed to be upset?
Yeah.
Nah.
I feel like that could also be partially because English isn't her first language. And it might be because, I don't know, she has trouble with her words and her pronunciation and how to emote that sometimes. Because she has the same problems in uh, Death on the Nile and like 1984. She's got a carryover problem that keeps happening.
I mean, I don't know, because she has her accent, and that's fine. But she could express herself more. We have plenty of actors who have a heavy accent,
Yeah,
but they can still,
carry it.
like move their eyebrows and stuff.
Move their eyebrows is the way you describe being expressive.
Yeah.
No, but you're
Kal-El,
right.
no.
Kal-El, no. And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Who's the best character, Caroline? What's the right answer?
It's the Flash. It's Barry Allen.
Oh, we're gonna go to Barry first.
It's
Okay.
if I have any praise, that is
For
100%
Ezra.
praise for this
Oh,
movie
for the movie.
and for Ezra Miller. It is that Barry Allen is the best character. I'm trying to resist slapping the table.
Yeah, I don't want you knocking out
Barry
your mic.
Allen is the best character in this movie.
Of all time, change my mind.
He has the best scenes. He's got his comedic relief is actually
He's very
funny.
funny.
He is very funny in this movie. He is the best character, the most enjoyable character. He and I'm even trying to think of another character who saved the movie. He saved the movie for me. It was Barry Allen.
Save the movie? Hmm.
I know for you that you have another character in your heart.
Who? I don't have who.
The Superman. You were
Bum,
singing the
bum,
theme
bum,
song
bum,
while we were watching the movie as it was building. You were
bum,
humming.
bum, bum.
You were like warning me ahead of time. You were like, you hear the song in the background, and then I could
Can I
hear you.
just keep pretending I'm your son? You are my son. Bum, 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 bum. Go watch that trailer. Trailer number 3 for Man of Steel. Greatest trailer of all time. Changed my mind for real this time.
That was the cape that Amy Adams had in her chest, right?
The what?
That was the cape.
She had a cape in her chest?
in I'm talking about a chest of drawers,
Oh, yeah,
not a
okay.
Joss Whedon kind of chest.
Not the landing platform that Joss Whedon uses in every movie.
not the pillows that Joss
Yeah.
Whedon uses in every movie.
Yeah, of course that's his cape. Yeah. All those unnecessary scenes. By the way, I wanted to bring up 2 things since we were watching it together.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad you were catching on, or like the first time we see Amy Adams as Lois Lane, you're like, oh, I love her. You know,
my
I'm like, yeah,
my
me too.
emotions changed. I went through a ride with Amy
And
Adams
then
in
after
this
the
movie.
7th time you saw her, you're like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, now she knows. Now
I was
she
like,
knows.
why are we still seeing her in the rain?
And then the second time, you're like, oh man, Wonder Woman's theme song is so cool. I'm like, yeah, it is. It really is. And then I was thinking, you just wait. We got 3 hours and 55 minutes left. You just wait.
And I think it was towards the end where I was like, it was cool at first, but I'm getting a little
But on
tired
the
of hearing that
17th time,
on the 25th time of hearing the it wears out. It wears out. I like the kind of electric guitar tune that she's
yeah,
got. That's cool. But hearing that Latin chant or whatever, that Latin throat singing, where you're just hearing a girl going, it's like, okay, stop. We don't need this every
I
time.
liked it every time, to be honest. But I had a feeling you would get tired of it.
I was like, why are you lying to me?
It sounded very cool.
I like the guitar. I don't like the woman screeching after it.
You mean before it?
Before it. It's
All right, Barry. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Barry because he got very light criticism, and I don't think this came from Zack fans. But they made fun
really.
of the way he runs because
Oh.
even the way they explained it, or like, yeah, I think Ezra explained it, where there was like tight ropes involved. I don't know.
Oh
It was like a
wow.
very awkward situation, like on a treadmill and things like that. And I'm like, oh, I see that now. I see that in the movie. Like when you see him running, as like very long strides or like weird pointed feet. I don't know, but I think it looked very unique, and I
I
liked
just
it.
kind of assumed that he was going in that runner pose.
Yeah.
The
Well,
hand,
before that, when you see him running, like when you see his stride, it
yeah.
looks a little awkward.
You're right. I do think the hands for me were the most awkward. The way they would kind of twist,
Yeah,
that was a little bit weird. But I was fully into because that's how you're supposed to run, not the hands, but like, kind of falling forward, right? That's how you're supposed to run.
sure.
I've I've seen it in a YouTube video somewhere where
You've seen How to Run on a YouTube
yeah, it
video?
was a guy and he was like doing a test. It was like a BuzzFeed video too, I think.
Oh no.
But he was doing a
You need
test
more
to
reliable sources.
he was doing a whole thing of like how you're supposed to run or whatever, like like how to get faster and running or something. And he did a test and he ran upright, how like
Oh, okay.
on your left kind of thing. And the guy doing the test said, "Oh, if you want to really like you're running like exercise, but if you want to run like athletics,
Fast.
like track and field run, you're supposed to be falling forward, but your feet catch you each time. But that's how you're supposed to run. Like you're supposed to lean forward and your body feels like it's falling, but obviously your feet catch you every time that you go forward." So when I saw him running like that, I figured he's doing like a runner's pose,
Okay.
a runner's formation.
Oftentimes he was, yeah.
But yeah, the hands were a little awkward, but I mean, come on, everything else was just so cool. I'm
Oh, and
not
then
like,
also his humor. Some people
yeah,
didn't like his humor, but I think that was a Justice League cut because he's funny here, but then I saw some of the scenes for the original Justice League, and there's a lot more jokes that Barry says, and I can see how people wouldn't like it. I like it, but
you know what? As a viewer of the original Justice League,
uh-huh. You didn't see it all the way through, did you?
I saw it maybe 70% of the way, and
Okay.
he felt very MCU. But I'm not talking about MCU. I'm talking about MCU now, like format jokes of like he's gonna be the
Taika
punchline.
CU.
Yeah, maybe not that much, but it really felt like, oh, he's the forced comedic relief. We have this serious
Yeah.
moment. We have this like you have serious characters. You have Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, all them, Cyborg, and it's like he's the goofy. And almost felt like he was the goofy sidekick. Like he was the one that would just come in and crack a joke.
That's definitely what they were going for.
And so it just didn't. I liked him in the Justice League movie, but I didn't love him like the way I do in this movie.
I can't speak to that, but I feel like I would have still given him the benefit of the doubt and liked him anyway.
It was like his jokes in the first movie were like the Amy Adams scenes in this movie. There was just one too many. It's
I
just
think there were
too.
all too many, if
It
you
was
ask
just too
me.
much. It was just, we only needed two scenes at most. At most, I would have
For
been fine
Barry
with
or Lois?
for Lois. I would have been fine with one,
No,
but
I would have introduced her as soon as Superman showed up. I think that's the best. Like if Batman just came in and like, I got the secret weapon, and it's really Lois.
and they're like, Bruce, you can't bring the kryptonite out again. That's how we got in this mess. And then he just brings out Lois, and they're
This
like,
is stronger than
oh,
that. True
it
love.
is love. Ben Affleck looks so tired in this film. He
He's
looks like
tired.
he looks like he perpetually needs a nap in this movie.
He's tired, Caroline.
He looks very that picture of him, with smoking, that face that he's known for.
Oh yeah.
That's how I saw him throughout the whole movie.
What did you think of his Batman in general?
I mean, he's okay. I actually bought into the tired older Bruce. Of course, there were parts that I didn't really like. And that has more to do with the bigger conversation that I'm not wanting to get into about how Snyder portrays Batman and things like that. But for the most part, I do like the kind of struggle that Affleck as Bruce is portraying. Like you could tell he's really getting he's unsure of himself. He's in this kind of leadership role and he's questioning like, oh, like, and you can tell he's very much feeling that I messed up. I, you know, had a hand to play in Superman's death and he would have been a much better leader if he were here. Everybody's saying no to me. They wouldn't say no to him. For the most part, I liked him. I think he was pretty good. I think obviously I'm biased too. I love Batman, but Ben Affleck just underneath all that, he just looked really tired in this movie. I think it's no wonder after this movie he was like,
Well, it
"I'm
was four
done."
hours long.
It was 4 hours long, yeah. Also with all the mess and directors and stuff, it's no wonder that after this movie he's like, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna head out. Yeah, my boy. 80,
Oh,
adios."
adios. There's one more thing I forgot to mention I don't know, wherever I was going to throw this in. But one thing I was curious about for this movie, before it was released, all of the build up to the Snyder cut, there was so much misinformation, or at least what I was getting, about how much of it was going to be new footage, how much of it was already shot, and Zach just has to edit together. And I just want to know because people were also using it to prove their point, like, oh, of course it's going to be better because like none of what was in the Justice League is going to be in the Zack Snyder version, or like, oh yeah, there's supposedly supposed to be like 70% new footage and this and that. So many
Wow.
numbers and misinformation. I'm like, let me get to the bottom of this. One Google search. So that's what I did. First page, I clicked. And apparently, according to Deborah Snyder, I think it was Deborah, she said the only new footage that was filmed for Zack Snyder's Justice League is the very last end credit scene with the Joker. That's it. Everything else was already filmed, and Zack just had to go to, Sony Vegas and then stitch it together. But he got Jared Leto on the horn.
On the horn.
And he's like, boy, do I got a deal for you.
He had a Ricola. Jared Leto summoned him to his house like a vampire.
Exactly. That's the only way to call Jared Leto. You summon him.
He has no phone. He was on Mars Island during the pandemic anyway.
Oh.
He was... What was it? He said he left for a spiritual retreat and he came back and the world was ending.
Wow.
The worst scene in the movie was what they shot.
I think there was much worse.
I mean, that's the scene that got Ben Affleck to be like, nah. He acted in that scene.
Well, now he's back, and apparently.
Quit. Oh, that's right. He is back.
Yeah, he's back.
Huh.
He's like, you know what? I'm married now. I'm going to need some more money.
My wife and I want a brand new, bigger house. J-Lo, Jenny from the block ain't happy with just living on the block. You know what I mean?
She's not J-Lo anymore, right?
I think she still goes by J-Lo, yeah. But
that's technically she's not, right?
That's like when a female doctor doesn't change her last name so she doesn't have to renew her whole practice. It's just professionally, she's still known as her name.
But she did change her name.
Legally. Well, let's see. Jennifer
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this.
Lopez. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say.
It's going to correct you.
Oh, look at that. Jennifer Lynn Affleck.
There you go.
But she still goes by her stage name for performances and stuff as Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's been too long to give that up now.
Her legal name is Jennifer Affleck.
Wow.
Good for you, girl. It's about time.
She made it real. All right.
I mean, they have such a tumultuous relationship.
No more celebrity gossip. Let's talk about Ezra Miller.
This is something I know all about. But yeah, Ezra Miller, best character, best. I don't know about actor, but
you're gonna say best actor.
I was, but I took it back. Best character. I don't even think I have to award a best actor. Everybody is obviously trying.
They're trying their best.
I think it's more of dealing with the hand they've been dealt with in a way. Like if you get to play the Flash, you get to have a lot of fun playing the Flash, because the Flash is a very fun character with very fun powers and personality. But if you're stuck with like Batman, you have to work. You gotta
be sad.
You gotta work with that. You know, this character has some history of being a tall, brooding boy, so you gotta work with that. Same thing with like Wonder Woman. Like, I love Wonder Woman. She's a very inspirational figure, especially being a woman. But it's like, because of everything going on.
Can I be like you someday?
Cringe number 1.
That's cringe number 1
in the cringe list. No, cringe number 1 was the Iceland people singing "Bye Bye" to Aquaman as he was taking off his shirt and descending into the ocean. That was cringe number 1. What the heck? It's like me throwing
that's drama.
Ben Affleck watches Jason Momoa strip to his pantaloons.
As he watches Jason Momoa snitch on his personal identity. See you later, Bruce Wayne. My man. Hey, you're Bruce Wayne?
Part of that world.
All right.
Oh, my man. That was number 1. Number 2 is
number 2.
No one calls me king of the surface.
That was a fine line.
That's a pretty cringy line.
That's a pretty cringy.
Why are you making fun of
Why are
my
you doing your Batman impression right now?
I had to suppress a cough while saying that. What do you want from me? Huh?
Why are you suppressing? You don't want to pause and cough?
I just did while you were talking. I mute, I cough.
That's it.
What do you want from me? I'm trying here.
I want you to be free, cough freely, clear your
No,
throat as needed.
that's not gonna happen. Number 3, I wrote too much
Cringe
love.
3.
Number 3 was, "Will I be like you someday?"
Oh,
You
you didn't like that
you can
line?
be whatever you want to be.
Except for
It's
me.
that's not an answer, Diana. You can't.
That's an answer.
She can't be you. She. Will I be
That's
like
why
you
it's the best
someday?
answer. She didn't say yes. She said you could be whatever you want. Okay, honey. You want to blow up banks? Yes. Do it.
With 2 magical bracelets? Yes.
No. Do it how the gentleman behind me was trying to do it with a bomb.
Number 3, I wrote too much Lois. I don't know at what point in the movie I wrote
Wait,
this
that's
down.
cringe, or you're just writing
No,
criticisms?
number 4 was Lois Lane scene number 85.
So too much Lois is cringe?
Once we got to Lois sad scene number 4, or no, probably number 7, I was like, this is getting too much. This is too much.
Yeah.
This is cringy. This is
You
too
didn't
much.
need to see her laying in her bed and there was no Clark Kent there?
Oh my god. And even you were like, her bed is cold. I was like, quiet.
Bum,
No,
bum.
no.
Bum, 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 bum.
Number 6, Kal-El, no.
Kal-El? No.
Kal-El, no. I think I gave that too much emotion. Kal-El, no.
No.
That's like that Willy Wonka. You know that line? No, stop, come back.
Yeah, the
That's
original, right?
that's what she was doing. She was channeling that.
I'll tell you what, all the Amy Adams scenes, didn't need it. I would say even Wonder Woman's introduction, didn't need it. For what? We know she can stop bad guys.
She had a whole movie. I don't think she needs an introduction.
Yeah.
I think when you have a whole movie, you don't need to have an action scene of you being you. You know what I mean? Like
The Flash hot dog scene.
we needed that though, because
No.
we don't know him like in a movie.
We know exactly what he does.
We don't know him. This is his theatrical debut in a way.
Technically, no.
I know it's not technically, but still, we didn't get to see enough of him. Wonder Woman had a whole movie. 2.
I know you like Barry. I like Barry, Caroline. But I'm talking about, saving time here. It wasn't necessary.
That's where I disagree.
Because look, all he does, and I know that girl, again, I'm not super into DC, but I know that girl's important. I know she's a comic character. I know they probably end up together. It didn't amount to anything in the movie.
Did she ever say her name?
Maybe.
I don't
I'm pretty sure.
remember her ever saying her name.
And then the job, it doesn't show him. I mean, I know you can make the point, like, it shows him, like, holding on to these dead-end jobs or whatever. He has, like, 4 part-time jobs.
But that's like with the scene with his dad.
I
In
think it was the scene
prison.
with his dad is fine. I would have
But we needed
preferred
that.
if it just jumped straight to the scene with the dad.
We needed the hot dog scene.
You wanted the hot dog scene. We did not need it. Did you need to see that sesame seed, CGI sesame seed in your face?
That was kind of cringe.
Cringe number 9,
Cringe
CGI
number
sesame
12.
seed. But it's just things like that. Cyborgs, I feel like, was very important to the plot, and I wouldn't cut.
Are you serious?
He was so important to the plot, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I have just a huge. I know they brought in Cyborg and they made him essential to the plot, but I think he's kind of the lamest one there.
He looks the lamest.
He kind of acts the lamest. I feel like he didn't even fit in with the group in a way. It's very interesting how anti-Avengers they were in the sense of like the Avengers, it establishes them getting to know each other and becoming friends, teammates, partners. And when they work together in the end and they do that shot, that famous circle shot,
Mm-hmm.
we've earned that through this movie. You know, they're a team now. They're working together. I
They
never.
never say Justice League in this movie.
That's true, but
That bothered me.
I
Cringe number
never.
13.
I never got that in this film. I never felt like they earned it or they worked together. And the biggest proponent of that for me was Cyborg. I feel like he didn't even try to fit in or to make friends with everybody there, except for the last fist bump scene with Barry.
So then you would like the Justice League better because he's laughing with Superman, chucking it up.
He's not that
He's like,
great.
I can't feel my toes. How do I not feel my toes? I'm a cyborg.
That might be part of the 30% I didn't watch for good
Yeah, it's
reason.
right near the end. They're fighting Steppenwolf already.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you probably would have liked him there.
No.
I didn't think Cyborg was all that cool looking or whatever, but I think his scenes are more important to the movie. That's what I'm saying.
He did
To
have a lot
then
of scenes.
yeah, but even like the football one, I don't care for. But the ones where it's him and his father, and then it's showing like the car crash with his mother, right after the football scene, I guess. I'm trying to find a way to trim this down. There's an art to knowing what to remove, to make it a streamlined movie here.
There's an art when backstory is a little too much backstory.
Yeah, you don't need 4 hours to tell a good story.
Yeah. Also, I have a question.
Huh.
Did you think the way Diana fought in the bank was a little weird with the bracelets?
Oh, because it looked weird and sped up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it looked kind of cool. Because she's supposed to be fast, and that's kind of the way. I mean, no human can move like that, so that's just CGI, superhuman Wonder Woman right there.
Maybe it's just been a while since I've seen Wonder Woman the movie, but I feel like the action choreography in that movie was better and handled her
Oh yeah,
powers.
she never fought like that in the movie, in
Yeah,
her own movie.
I
Yeah,
feel like in her movie, her powers and the way she fought were handled a lot better. So when I saw it in this movie, I was like, it's a little weird. It's a little weird how you're fighting, girl. I'm not used to that.
it looked weird. I think it looked cool, but I'm the one that thought I don't think you needed that scene at all.
The bank exploding scene.
Yeah, the bank explosion.
Look, everybody, I saved the bank.
Yeah, she was the sole cause of that.
Let's not forget her amazing fits in this film.
Oh yeah,
Every new scene she was in, she changed outfits. Her and Bruce were
28
competing.
outfit changes.
28 outfit changes.
It's amazing.
28 different ways to say Kal-El, no.
We did not actually count it.
No,
it's
we
a lot.
didn't.
It's a lot.
She has different outfits. Anytime the camera goes, the movie goes to her and then leaves and then comes back, different outfit.
Even if it's within the same scene and it cuts away from her real quick.
And then it comes
That
back.
cemetery scene, I did not see her in that Evil Queen gown.
Oh, you're right. And then they go back on the Pelican and she's wearing the Evil Queen outfit.
Yeah.
It is a superpower that we didn't know about with Wonder Woman, that she can just change her clothes automatically. And then
she's always dressed ready to walk down a runway.
And then Bruce Wayne started joining in, changing his suits every time.
Who had the better getup? Who won that fashion showdown?
Jason Momoa.
My man.
His multiple shirts that he discarded.
3 shirt tear-offs. All right.
There's a scene where you're standing in front of the water in like a shirt, a vest, and a coat. And I was like, why are you wearing all that? You're going to take it off and leave it there.
And then he took it off and left it there.
These Icelandic women are going to start chanting and going and picking it up. We don't need to see that again.
They're going to draw him shirtless in their bar.
I'm surprised we didn't get like a symbolism with him. We just had that scene of him strutting down the pier to that song and the waves overwhelm him, but we didn't get any like Lady Justice and Death and Jesus imagery with him.
Well, that's reserved for Superman.
Well, I'm saying he didn't get
his rock star. I'm cool.
He didn't get his own. Him, Barry, and Cyborg didn't really get.
Well, Aquaman's is overcompensation. Like I'm not a lame hero.
We have to make him. We have to make him cool. That's why
I drink beer
and I throw it on the ground and smash
or whiskey.
It.
I don't know. I don't drink.
I think it. No alcohol.
I smash it on the ground.
It's consumed here.
But yeah, that's his character. Look at how cool I am.
Hoorah!
All right,
All right,
my man.
my man.
Let's talk about the second best character in the movie, Willem Dafoe.
Oh my gosh. Who casted him? Who was in charge of casting him?
Maybe James Wan.
I love Willem Dafoe, don't get me wrong. Willem Defriend, might I say.
I agree.
Yes. But he looks so out of place as an Atlantean. So out of place. The hair, the costume. Even when he spoke, he was like, "Your mother always wanted you to have this trident or whatever." And I was like, "Well, do you
And
see
Aquaman's
your
like, "What are you talking about, bro?"
Atlantis needs you?" No,
You
he's
must take up the trident, bro. Get that away from me.
half Atlantean, half Earth. I have no ties to Atlantis. Bro,
Gross. I'm out.
Atlantis. More like
Go on. Whack Atlantis. Peace.
Atlantis. More like
We could be here all day. Come on.
I was trying to think of like something with last or more distance. Get that
No.
away from me. That didn't work, and I
Are we
acknowledge
moving
that.
on from
I'm
that?
sorry. Yes, please. Can we move on?
My man.
Let's move on. I'll tell
You
you
really
what.
wanted it.
I was
You really
trying.
wanted
You
it.
know, I really wanted to make it, but my brain didn't compute.
You woke up like
100%.
1 hour ago.
That's so true. Thank you for that.
What were you gonna say?
Let's transition to another topic, and that
Okay.
is, I am pleasantly surprised, and I also really like, I guess, the reasoning for Superman being revived.
Oh yeah.
I was going into it thinking, all right, what dumb excuse are they going to have just to awaken Superman? Because no one's ever truly gone, of course.
You're such a fan of that, though. You're pretending like you don't like that.
That's not the point, Tony.
But you're saying it like, why are you misleading the listeners? So you're saying it like, here we go again. Who are they gonna bring back? Like, you love it when that stuff happens.
To an extent. I think that it depends on the person too, obviously. It's a case by case basis, but eight times out of
I have
10,
yet to see a case where you
eight
disapproved
times out
of.
of 10, I disapprove.
Name the 2 out of 10.
I
Name
woke up
2
an
out of
hour.
10
I
cases.
woke up an hour
Think
ago,
about
Tony.
it.
I'm not gonna name
Think
2
about
out
it.
of 10.
You can't think of one?
It's gonna be a long pause if I do.
Okay.
But I was following along to this movie, and at first I was like, "Wait, what? Why?" And then it was like, "Okay, I'm on board with this. We do need Superman. We need a Kryptonian."
But Caroline, you can't, if you see a charging bull, you can't wave the red flag. Or, sorry, you can't wave the red cape.
Is that from the Justice Cut?
No, that's the one we saw. It's actually one of my favorite lines. And then Bruce is like, no, but this red cape charges back.
Oh, yeah. That's the line. I love that you remembered that so clearly.
It's good. I love Superman hype scenes.
Yes, you do.
I love that Superman hologram on that table.
You love that Superman song playing in the background as it builds up. There it is. That was what I heard every time it built
we're all
up.
thinking the same thing, right? Who's going to say it?
Who's going to say it? I think I even said, I was like, oh, they can use that to bring Superman back. And then Cyborg was like, who's going to say it? No, Barry. Yeah. Who's going to say it? I was like, I just said it, Barry. Do it.
I just love when they acknowledge that he's the coolest of them all.
I mean, he is.
The strongest.
That's without saying.
Fiercest, most powerful.
Why is his suit black?
In the comics, when he gets resurrected, he has a black suit.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like it. I mean, I think it looks cool, but I want to see him come back colorful, big, bright S on his chest.
Full of life.
Yeah.
That's Superman.
Yeah. But Zach is like, oh, he has a black suit. Nice. I
We're
got to
in
use
this.
that.
We're in the Spider-Man 3 era for him.
Yeah. Zach is a cool guy.
He's okay.
Have you seen his interviews?
Yes, I have.
He's just a kid that made it to Hollywood somehow.
That's his interviews are part of the reason why I didn't like him.
He's just having fun, Caroline. You don't like fun?
Why you gotta frame it like that?
I know. You don't
Wow,
enjoy yourself ever?
that reminds that reminds me of like the rocket scene in Guardians. Where he's like, "You just want to suck the joy out of everything."
The rocket scene in Guardians?
That's when Rocket says to, I think it's Quill, where he's like, "No,
Which
we're not."
Guardians?
Guardians 1.
I don't remember.
I don't remember the exact scene, but I know that's a quote in that
All
movie.
right. All right.
But yeah, Superman coming back. I don't know how I feel about the plot structure of it all, of after he gets awakened with being like, "Oh, he's back, but he's confused." I get that part, but then it's like, okay, we've awakened him. Lois comes in, takes him away. He gets his, he goes to the farm and stuff like that, and then he whooshes back. I don't know how I feel about all that.
Whoosh is back, what, into the fight?
Yeah, whooshes into the fight. I don't know how I feel about that structure. I feel like it's a little bit messy. And oddly enough, in a 4-hour movie, it felt a little rushed.
What more could they have done?
It's not, I guess, what more could they have done, but it's the lack of focus on one thing over another. It's it goes into the too much Lois. He spent so much time, going back with Lois and being on the farm and stuff like that, when I feel like we could have had more time with him going to like Alfred. He goes to Alfred and gets caught up on things, maybe seeing what the league, the unofficial league, has been doing or stuff like that. I don't know, but I just feel like we should have seen him being Superman more than just running off and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like it was weird. It was a weird structure and a weird pacing for that storyline. Like there was a better way to do it, but I can't think of how.
I think they were trying to make it as grand as an entrance as they could.
And even then, it didn't feel like that grand of an
It
entrance.
didn't because I think we saw him for too long. I actually think there's too
Oh,
many scenes with him after they revive him because
interesting.
there's a revive scene, there's a fight scene with him all confused, then the farm scenes, and those were a lot. He's then is the scenes with just Lois and the scene with Lois and his mom, and then the scenes inside the house, and there was a lot. And then it was a scene with him and Alfred, and then it's a scene. Oh no, I think we actually get to see him on his ship, and he gets to choose his costume before we see Alfred,
Yeah.
right? And then we
Mhm.
see Alfred, and then we find out he's like not impressed.
Not impressed.
When I think in reality, it would have been better if it was as minimal as possible. Maybe just like the fight scene after he wakes up, and then that's it. Like, don't explain how he gets the suit or whatever. Because if we compare, the first thing I can imagine is Thor and his entrance on Wakanda. Like we saw him, but they
Yeah.
didn't really. It was quick. It was quick. Like Thor just passed out, and then I'm gonna keep it vague, but Groot did his thing, blah blah, blah. And then it was epic when it happened. And then this, it was like we saw him for so long, and we knew he was even gonna go there. Like I don't even think they should have showed him going to Alfred. There's just some things that you have to let the viewer assume. So I know you want to see more Alfred, and we made the joke, but we can assume that Alfred made a PowerPoint presentation and just said like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you caught up real quick. Yeah, this is what's going on." Be like,
Slide
"All right,
1 of 49.
yeah." He's like, "Okay, well, I'm Superman. After you explain this, I'll be there in 1 second. So don't worry, it's all good."
Yeah, yeah. You're onto something there. I think you're right.
But yeah, it's like you're saying, I don't know if that's a perfect way to do that either, because I think you do need those scenes with Lois at least a little bit. She saw his man come back to life. So
Maybe if we didn't see so much Lois, it might have worked more.
you're right. Yeah, we saw her,
Maybe if we didn't see her
12 times,
18 times prior to him getting revived,
laying in bed alone, walking in the rain alone,
cleaning the chest alone.
alone.
getting coffee alone.
Yeah, she is just so alone.
All by
Bum,
myself.
bum. All right.
Don't wanna be. But yeah, I think his entrance could have been a little bit cooler. Especially this is his first time joining up with the Justice League. So it's just kind of anticlimactic.
Do you remember the Justice League entrance?
I think I didn't see that part. It's part of the
Oh
30%.
yeah, that's a you were asleep already.
Yeah, I was already out.
I
Like,
don't remember exactly how it goes, but Steppenwolf says something, something some bad guy says, and then Superman's like, "I'm a fan of justice,"
oh my
and then he
gosh.
turns around because he's behind Steppenwolf. He's like, "And truth too," and then like he like punches him in the face or
Oh
whatever.
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I think that's better. I do not like the
Not
not
impressed.
impressed.
He should have said something else. Like, why did he say not impressed?
He could have said, "My man."
All right.
All right.
We could have had Aquaman in the back going, all right.
All right. I think he does say all right.
Yeah, he does.
So that would be unchanged.
Unchanged. Don't change my mind.
Zach, let's take this back to the drawing board.
Also, I'm a little sad that he didn't join them when they were fighting all the minions or whatever. I wanted a group fight. I wanted to see all of them working in tandem together to take out
Yeah.
some minions, get a little teamwork in. I want to see all the Justice League fighting together. And we never got that.
Yeah, not really. As soon as Superman shows up, it's just he's unstoppable.
Well, also, like, he shows up when they're just fighting Steppenwolf. He doesn't like it's kind of like everybody's trying to dogpile on Steppenwolf and he's overpowering them all, and then Superman gets there. But we don't see them working as a team.
No, because they don't have to.
And the saddest part is, out of all of them, Superman is the biggest team player. Like, you just know he would have so much fun working with other people.
Yeah. This was kind of the problem I was imagining with Justice League before it ever became a thing. Because DC has way overpowered characters.
Yeah.
Way, way, way overpowered. So how can you ever make a Justice League on top of, like Superman's own movies and stuff? Like, how can you ever have villains that can stop these guys? I know like Batman and, the lower level heroes, but come on, like Martian Manhunter and the Flash, once he gets more,
Flashpoint
more
Paradox style.
experience. Oh, we didn't even talk about Flashpoint Paradox. But yeah, once he's more experienced, because that's another thing that they didn't really, the Justice League version, he spoke a little bit more about like how little experience he has. He's like, I just push people away. I just run really fast and push them away. And then Batman says like, just focus on one at a time, save one at a time. But yeah, he doesn't really know how to fight. But once he does, and he does like the super mass punch and things like that, like
It's
he's
like,
unstoppable.
yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, all of them are really. And then Green Lantern, imagine like anything you could possibly imagine.
I am really sad we didn't get any Green Lantern in this movie. Not that I want Ryan Reynolds, but I wanted a Green Lantern in this movie.
You got some Green Lantern.
I wanted Green Lantern of
The
Justice
entire
League.
movie.
I wanted Green Lantern in this movie. I wanted the character.
You saw lanterns.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
I've seen the Justice League animated films, and those are so good. Those are great movies that are so entertaining and so funny. And the dynamic between the Justice League is amazing. Obviously, because the comic books have been around for decades, that of course they've nailed their friendships and group dynamics, and they're such a fun group to watch. So why is it that in the movie none of that is brought over?
Because this is a Snyderverse, Caroline. This is real life. This isn't like an animation.
It's not like this is some comic book or
Everything
whatever.
isn't honky dory, like it is
It's
in the
not like we're
cartoons.
watching a
Okay.
superhero movie or
No, this is
anything.
like the world is in danger. All right.
There wasn't danger in every movie. It's not that hard. This is not a difficult task.
I want to say that I think Steppenwolf is a chump.
Oh, absolutely. Why is he even here? Why were you
He's
sent
pretty lame.
sent in the Ebony Maw to fight them? He's not even Thanos.
Now, here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
According to Zack Snyder, and he didn't just make this up. I think this was actually his plan from the beginning. He wanted to make Justice League a 5-part series, a 5-part movie.
Whoa.
Yeah, 5 movies to tell the story.
Whoa.
And
Whoa.
I could see how he can expand that. I
Wait.
could.
I mean, yeah, we have Darkseid, and it ends with Darkseid like mobilizing his army and stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of material to work with here.
So I can tell why, okay, Steppenwolf, he didn't have to be all that good or threatening, but this was it. This was his one shot. So technically, he's like a Loki.
Is he?
First Avengers movie, first Justice League.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're onto something.
But yeah, I kind of didn't like how wimpy he was. You know, he always returned back.
Because I was running away. Yeah.
Well, I don't blame him. He's like, well, I already have the mother box.
I got what I want.
I'm
See
not
ya.
going to fight 100 Amazonians. Peace.
See ya. I beat all you Atlanteans.
And I
Bye.
had no doubt. I don't question his strength. I feel like he would have taken out all the Amazonians and Atlanteans. The Atlanteans sucked more. They actually got like beat up, blood splattered everywhere.
He had it goes to show you because the fight between him and the Amazonians went on for like 20 minutes, and the fight with the Atlanteans was 2.
He snuck in. I think they were all asleep.
He splinter celled them.
But
He was
yeah,
swimming
he
in
took the
there.
stealth option for the Atlanteans.
He played a little bit of Assassin's Creed and strategized.
But yeah, I don't. He's not a chump when it comes to fighting. I feel like he actually is a threat, but he doesn't feel like it.
Because we see him kind of sniveling to
The sod.
Desaad and Darkseid, and he's like,
Yeah, I didn't
"Please,
like that.
my
I didn't
lord,
like that. He's like, finally, I can make it up.
give me a
I'll make it
chance.
up to Darkseid.
I will redeem myself. Please."
I need one more mother box, and he'll accept my apology.
The real villain, Darkseid, didn't even take his calls. He was just like, "My assistant will handle it," until the very end.
Yeah,
It was like going straight to voicemail for him.
he put him on Do Not Disturb.
He did. He did. He put him on auto text where can I call you later and then never called him back.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. I've been on Can I Call You Later recipient.
I have been the perpetrator and the receiver of can I call you later.
How's it feel to not call somebody later?
I do feel bad when
Mm,
I don't call them back.
I'm sure you do.
I can't say though I've never been
How come you never call me back, Alan?
You don't call me.
Let's move on.
Let's move on, mister.
That's because you only want messages.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about this
Even
here.
to wake up, you're like, oh yeah,
Oh my
text me.
gosh.
And I was even
What?
thinking, I even reread it. I'm like, wait, you could wake up to a text? I didn't
Yeah.
ask you this. You
Yes,
could?
I can, yeah.
There's no way a text message will wake me up. First of all, I never take my phone off of vibrate. Second, there's no way a little notification is gonna wake me up.
It wakes me up. I'm
What's
con-
your notification?
I'm conditioned already to like wake up to a text message. To like
What the
a
heck?
noise.
So that's why you have unbroken sleep.
You mean broken sleep instead of unbroken sleep?
That's exactly right.
But
That's exactly
well, it also
yeah. I
depends
said the
because like
exact opposite of what I wanted to say. Yeah.
at night, typically I'll put my phone on vibrate, but like obviously with this time around, I knew I needed to wake up at a certain time. The reason I had you text me to wake up was because I didn't know what time you were going to get on, and I didn't want to be like setting a timer for like an hour and then you're waiting in the Discord for like however long. So it's just
Okay.
like, hey, when you get on, text me and I'll wake up.
All
But
right.
I can wake up to a text message. That's very easy for me.
I don't. Wow. Okay. That's a little bit too light of a sleep for me.
That's how I is. That's how I is.
There's another mystery that I solved,
Oh,
and it took one Google search to solve it.
okay.
So remember we were watching the movie, and I saw Steppenwolf. I'm like, there's a lot of blue. He has like a blue,
Like a purple
purple
tint.
tint.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't remember seeing that the first time. Did they update it again?
And did they?
They did not.
Oh, so you just didn't catch it.
I saw pictures, like screenshots of somebody bringing it up on Reddit. They're like, "Oh yeah," they were basically just saying like they like the new armor. And in the screenshots, this was like a year ago, there was purple tint. I'm like, all right, so I guess I'm
It's always been there and you
crazy.
just
It's
didn't
always been
notice.
there. Yeah, I probably saw the Justice is Gray edition because
I mean,
I
what
didn't see
difference would that have made, really?
this. I just see purple now. That's it.
That's just part of your looking for Thanos and everything that you have in you.
Yeah, perhaps
Thanos and hell are concepts you frequently look for in films.
are constants in my life.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Let's talk about Superman.
Let's talk about.
There's something I want to say about Superman.
Okay.
So the world is mourning him in this movie.
Mm, mm.
I never believed this.
Yeah, neither did I.
In the first Batman v Superman, at the end when he was dead, I felt the world was relieved that he died. That's the
Oh,
impression I got. Like,
wow.
wow, this alien that terrorized
This
Earth,
super powered alien
yeah,
that,
is finally dead and no longer a problem.
you know what? You might be onto something, especially with how like Man of Steel was. And that
Yeah,
leaked into BVS, all of the
that was the whole
destruction.
reason for it.
Yeah, all of that. I think you might be onto something. But
They
continue.
never say this directly, but
Mhm.
I just feel that's how people felt. I don't think the world, there was a very like cult following because I remember there's like a little group of people that are mourning Superman at the end of Batman v Superman, but there's
Yeah.
not like a huge, memorial for Superman, like a worldwide thing like it feels here. They have his logo up now, and then
It
they
wasn't
kept
like
his statue up and things like that.
it wasn't like Iron Man in uh what was it? No Way Home? No,
Right,
Far From Home.
Far From Home.
That felt the weight
Yeah,
of losing someone, of a hero. And they played it very well because it was like, everywhere I look, I see his face. That's how you can tell people miss a certain person.
hmm
And in this movie, I would have liked to have seen some little touches here and there, even if it wasn't overt. Like when Barry was interviewing for the job at the pet shop, I would have liked to have seen somebody wear like a Superman pin with like a black piece of fabric attached to it or whatever. Like something to symbolize even just a tiny bit that people in everyday life are missing him.
I would have wanted to see it in this movie. I wanted to see it in Batman v Superman. Because v Superman is the one that convinced me that nobody cares that he died, and in fact, they're probably more relieved. If they showed it here, like here, they showed the big logo, and again, they showed they kept the statue up, they kept it closed off so people could come visit, pretty much just Lois Lane, and
And her sad coffee.
yeah, and that just made me think like, you guys are pretending to miss him. You guys don't miss. Well, Lois Lane, we know for sure misses him because we saw
25 sad scenes of
exactly,
her missing him.
exactly. But everyone else, come on. Don't pretend. Don't pretend like
Stop
you
it.
miss Superman.
Get some help.
So that I needed convincing on.
Yeah, nobody. I didn't see anybody else. Maybe Batman missed him a little bit. Was very eager to get him back, but those were the only two people I think that missed him. Diana wasn't even the one that thought of bringing him back. Barry was.
Batman didn't miss him. He just felt that guilt. Like, dang,
Yeah,
man.
I got a good man killed.
Yeah,
That's what he was feeling. I think you're onto something there. I think you're very much onto something.
maybe.
Let's talk about Aquaman.
My man.
My man. All right. Is it just me or is he a little? Well, no. I guess we adjust it. He's a rock star. I There's just something off with a lot of these characters and how much they're not team players, and that's just so not Justice
This
League.
is what's bothering you, huh?
It's so it hurts, Tone. It hurts. It hurts.
This is a Snyderverse. All right, things are different here.
That's what I don't like. That's just one of my pet peeves about how these characters are handled in general. You could argue that the Justice League is a superhero team that's more iconic than the Avengers prior to the films. And their
Yeah, I don't
com
think there's an argument there. They
yeah,
really were for a
and
long time.
their dynamic, their team is famous. It's infamous throughout superhero nerds everywhere. Why is it so boring when they're together? Why am I not liking the way that they talk to each other, their conversations there? Because I even feel like with Avengers, I do love their fight scenes, don't get me wrong, but some of my favorite scenes are them just talking together in the lab or at the party and things like that, where they're all just able to be friends and talk to each other. Never have a moment like that in the Snyderverse. And I don't know if it's just this mentality of like, we can't do the things that Marvel's doing. We're different. We're on the other side of things. We're
The threat
tough.
is too grave, Caroline. The Avengers, they just gotta, play around with little robots over there.
Tony,
But
they're
here,
this is an
here,
Avengers level threat. And they're
this
still
is a Justice League level
having
threat.
fun with it.
They're dealing with Avengers level threat over there.
Are you telling me that Thanos is not as big a threat?
All your favorite scenes are in Age of Ultron.
That's besides the point.
And then you're bringing up Thanos and Infinity War.
But even like
Well,
in
that was actually pretty funny too with Guardians and
come
Thor. That was good.
on. But even just like their conversations with like in Wakanda, get this man a shield, and we don't like what was it? We don't trade lives. Like, come on. These are
Well, we
great,
don't trade lives as a serious moment.
but we don't but these are great dynamics, These
Yeah.
are great actual conversations between the characters. We don't get that in this movie. I feel
Well, we
like
got Batman. Batman is never happy. Then we have Wonder Woman as
she,
Gal Gadot.
she's never happy or sad or
I'm not sure, honestly.
or
I'm not sure.
excited or
I think she gets happy when she smiles.
Kal-El, no.
Her smile's too cute, actually. She never looks like, even when she's like, nah, she doesn't look upset. And then, Jason Momoa, my man. It's really only Barry carrying all
Any
the
lightheartedness
charisma.
is Barry. it's
Yeah.
This is why I like him, is because he's the only one bringing the
They don't really
actual
know each
Barry.
other. That's the thing. They don't know each other.
Oh, the Avengers didn't know each other either.
They weren't getting along at first. In the first Avengers, they weren't getting along.
Yeah, yeah.
They learned to get along after Shawarma.
Shawarma after Coulson.
Yeah, you're right. After Coulson.
But still,
I get you, but I feel like I mean, I would have wanted them to get along more too, but this is what we got.
this is what we got.
They don't know each other. And Batman just woke up. I mean, Superman just woke up.
Superman did just wake up.
Yeah.
Tone, if you were to have seen the Justice League like animated shows or the movie,
I've seen Flashpoint Paradox and I've seen Justice League War.
even just the show, the Justice League animated
Oh,
series.
so those aren't good enough, huh?
No, those are fine. Those are fine. But I'm just saying, like, even just one episode of the animated series is so fun. They're so fun. And watching this movie, like from this morning, maybe, I was rewatching some episodes because I really do love these characters and I do love DC and their IPs and everything. And I yearned for actual Justice League after watching this movie. I wanted an actual team of heroes that are heroes and not just some weird allegories for gods.
I don't know what to tell you, Caroline. We're about to restore the Snyderverse.
Oh no, we're not.
We're on the verge.
No.
Yes.
That's it. The Snyderverse is done.
No,
Let it
it took
rest.
5 years to release a Snyder Cut.
Let it rest.
It'll take 5 years to restore the Snyderverse.
Oh my god. Warner
Am I
Brothers
right, Snyder
wanna...
fans? Guys,
cricket, cricket,
you out there?
cricket, cricket, cricket.
Caroline, this is very much the Snyderverse. I don't know if they're gonna restore it. I don't know if they're gonna start over. Maybe they're gonna get Taika to do another Justice League. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
But
are you just memeing or is that an actual thing?
I'm not.
Oh gosh.
I will never say I'm memeing, Caroline. That's not something I will ever say, okay? I'm joking around, perhaps. All right.
Are you joking around or are you serious?
Or am I memeing? How am I memeing? What is that? What do you mean?
Like, we're really gonna get into
How do
this?
you meme?
What do you mean? Because I'm running
Oh,
out of time. What do you mean?
meme. How do you meme for real? Meme right now.
Yeah, let's restore the Snyderverse. Woo! That's meme. And I
It's
don't.
not a meme when they restored the
It was
Snyder
a meme,
Cut.
and then they actually did it, and then it's not a
It was
meme.
not a meme. It was a hashtag that people believed in.
It was
They
also kind
signed
of
a
a meme.
petition on change.org.
Those are serious people. The memers were the ones just attaching it everywhere on Twitter.
So it's joking. That's what memeing is.
Am I not allowed to use synonyms in this podcast?
I just want to know if there's a difference.
I guess a joke is also like the Venn diagram. Joke is a circle, and memeing is a circle within that circle.
Okay, I just want to make sure. 'Cause
I cannot believe I'm gonna have to have a PowerPoint slide of memeing and joking the difference.
could
So
you meme and not joke?
were you being serious or were you not?
Which part?
Oh my gosh. that
Which part? I said a lot.
that the Snyderverse is coming. Oh no, Taika Waititi is gonna do the Snyder thing.
Oh, that's the meme, Carolyn.
Oh my gosh.
But I truly believe we will restore the Snyderverse.
I
Because
disagree.
what else can they do?
What else can they do?
I knew you were
Bring
gonna
it
sing
in.
that whenever that phrase comes up
Bring it
in
in.
any
Bring it in.
regard. But no, honestly, they're kind of trapped because they're still going with Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, even Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck's coming
Ben
back.
Affleck.
Bullock is coming back.
Spanish
And then we didn't even
translation.
talk about Flashpoint Paradox.
Oh, that's right. Isn't it just going to be called Flashpoint? I'm trying to remember,
Yeah, Flashpoint.
but The Flash is definitely a movie that's coming out.
This is pre-Flashpoint.
Yeah, I think it's just called The Flash.
No, I'm saying our conversation right now is
Oh wait,
pre-Flashpoint.
it is Flashpoint. The plot is Flashpoint. Oh dang. Yeah, this is pre-Flashpoint. This
We
conversation.
don't know what's Ezra's fate as of right now.
I do know that this movie is coming out because Ezra is going on kind of an apology spree tour.
Spree.
Yeah, an apology tour.
Will you watch this movie?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay.
Especially after what I saw in this film. I want more of Barry Allen.
So you see, this is what I'm saying. They even if Zack Snyder is not a part of it, they have to keep it going.
I think that Snyder is not going to be a part of it, but I really want to see a change in tone in these movies. And I mean, I want more color. I want more heroism out of these films.
I mean, we're getting it now. The Suicide Squad,
I
Shazam,
haven't seen Shazam. I did see
Black
Suicide
Adam.
Squad. Oh yeah, Black Adam's coming
You
out.
saw WW84.
Mm-hmm.
These are colorful now.
They are.
Aquaman, colorful, very colorful.
Aquaman is colorful. I do
So
like
that's
that.
changing. That's changing in your favor.
I am digging that. I haven't seen any of these new ones. Oh, I saw Suicide Squad, the new one.
The Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad. Nah. We'll see. I mean, so Ben Affleck is back as Batman for these
Yeah, but not
films?
for Flashpoint. But he
Okay.
agreed to come back somehow, someplace, somewhere.
I'm seeing here that he's in Flash.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
Interesting.
I think it was supposed to be Michael Keaton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if he's still showing up. I know he's going to be in Catwoman as well.
Oh,
But
yeah. Look at
DC
that.
DC is, a mess right now.
Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck are on the cast list.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's going to be part of that Flashpoint thing. Interesting. But yeah, I'm going to see this movie. I just, going forward, Don't they have like they have a guy kind of show running it now, right? I thought I
Yeah.
saw the headline where it's like DC has found their Kevin Feige.
Right. They found the Kevin Feige multiple times.
They do have a general direction now, at least.
You would think.
They have a guy that,
They have a guy trying to figure it out.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think they have a general direction yet.
They have a guy trying to make his own corkboard puzzle here.
They have a guy growing gray hair as we speak, trying to
Oh,
figure out
poor guy.
how to make this work.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss about this film?
It needs to be shorter. We already said that. But I need to emphasize that. It needs to be shorter.
With less Amy Adams scenes.
Take out that Flash scene. Take out that Wonder
No.
Woman scene.
Yes. I feel like even the Amazonian scene kind of went on for too long. It was action, don't get me wrong, but I feel like some scenes are too short and some scenes are way too long. There's a little bit of a pacing issue.
I read a funny headline around the time the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody, I guess they counted up all the slow motion scenes.
Oh.
And they said 10% of this movie is slow motion.
That's a lot of percentage.
Yeah.
Those are like those artsy shots.
Oh, so artsy, so dramatic.
Wow. Much cool. So wow.
But this was an interesting movie because they did some cool things and then they did some lame things.
Really lame things.
Yeah, and when it was cool, it was so cool.
That's the thing.
All the Flash stuff was cool.
We need to talk about the coolest scene in this movie. We kind of teased
All right, let's
that at the
reenact
beginning, but
Barry!
gotta break the rule, Barry. Gotta break the rule.
Gotta go fast, faster than the speed of light.
Gotta go
Gotta
fast.
do it now, gotta do it.
All right, Sonic. Gotta go fast.
That was so cool, though. As soon as you saw
that
everyone die,
the music as it builds up.
His hand, when he raises his hand and
When
the
he-
shockwave of the explosion.
When he makes that pose where his one hand's like going forward and the other one's already
Yeah.
winded up behind
Runner
his back.
stance.
So, and then he breaks off into a sprint and you see everything building up behind him, like materializing.
Yeah.
So cool. Oh my god.
And he's just running in like the emptiness of the explosion.
Yeah. The aftermath of the nothingness that explosion would have caused.
Yeah. And then you see Superman reanimating because he literally died and became smithereens of flesh.
Nothing but dust.
How do you kill Superman like that? What?
Well, because the mother box, they explain that it changes matter. So what?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, how often do you see Superman like that?
How often do you find something that can kill Superman other than kryptonite?
Batman could find it no problem.
They could. Batman and Lex found it on Craigslist.
They shipped it from overseas.
They went to eBay, Russia, and got kryptonite.
I hate kryptonite, honestly. It's so easy to get. It ruins my Superman.
You know who doesn't have kryptonite, Tony?
Captain America.
It's like you read my mind.
I'm saluting.
So am I. At ease.
You know, this is also how I watch Top Gun. I'm crying. Just picture that scene. I'm going to keep it vague, but just for you to understand and for the people who saw it to understand. This scene, the only person that dies in Top Gun, that scene, and then when Maverick is saluting, you know, and there's tears in his eyes. That's pretty much how I watch Top Gun the entire time now.
Top Gun Maverick.
All my reruns. Yeah. Also, by the way, pro tip, listen to the Top Gun theme song, Epic Edition.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you. I love that.
Yeah.
I love the Epic Edition.
I always look up Epic Edition of any theme song I like, and it's
epic.
They don't lie. Yeah, it's epic. What were we talking about?
Superman? Blowing up to smithereens? Kryptonite?
Yeah.
Even watching Cyborg get reanimated was like, whoa. And then when he comes forward and just pokes it, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Even the scene where he pokes the sword and Wonder Woman's trying to grab it, she's like, ah.
Bounces it back just a little bit.
I think that's so cool. I think it's
Yeah.
so cool. I
The
feel like
falling rocks.
I feel like the writers though forget his superpower. There were so many times where it's like, Barry, get in there. Barry, I know you could get there in time, Barry. Barry.
That's the thing. He could do anything faster than half a second. Anything.
Anything. And I think they forget that a lot.
They don't forget. Sometimes you just have to. You have
Intention
to ride around it. Yeah.
You have to intentionally nerf him for the sake of the plot.
Exactly right. That's a problem with that. That's why for Pietro, he
Uh,
got tired. He stopped and breathed. That's why everybody thinks Evan Peters
is a cooler
is a
Quicksilver
cooler one, yeah, because he
because
had cooler effects.
yeah, he had a cooler scene.
2 cooler scenes.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. What song was it? I'm trying to remember. Wasn't it the
I forgot both of them.
It's not the If I Could Turn Back Time. No, that's another one.
No.
Wasn't it?
I think the second one is Sweet Dreams.
Yeah, Sweet Dreams.
Sweet Dreams are
Made of these. Who
Yeah.
am I?
The first one, I can't remember.
I know the Sweet Dreams one, yeah. But yeah, he
The
did
one in
have
the kitchen.
I am a fan of those speedster scenes. The Evan
Yeah.
Peters, both of them. I like those. I like those effects. And same thing with this movie. I love the speedy scenes.
They did it really cool, and they didn't do the classic well, they did with the hot dog actually, but all the other ones, like the classic everything slows down and then he's just like moving around everything.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that, but it looked cool. Like when the rocks were falling and he was just like silhouettes,
yeah,
all around the civilians.
It's
that
so
was
cool.
awesome.
So cool. Barry is the best character in this movie.
Are there any cool scenes from the other heroes? Diana blowing up a bank, or Aquaman taking off his shirt and jumping in the water? Batman buying the bank.
I bought the bank.
How'd you get the house back from the bank?
Anytime Batman talked in his Batman voice, I was always taken aback. Taking a
bat. All right, it was a good episode.
That's all, folks. But yeah, anytime he talked in his voice, or it almost sounds like a double, like layered on it. Like if I could layer my voice on top of my voice, it sounds like that. He's like,
well, in his bat suit, he has a voice modifier.
Yeah, I know that, Tony.
Right.
Come on.
So why are you taking a bat if it was explained?
I know that, but I'm saying it still doesn't sound good. I heard it in BVS, and I still don't like it.
It was fine.
Wow. I don't like it.
I just gotta knock a little louder.
But does that as Bruce Wayne, he's always talking like Batman? Is that what that's why he has the voice changer? Is to be like, I have to sound even more like Batman.
Yeah, even cooler.
I have to sound like 2 Batmans. I did like the Jim Gordon scene.
Oh, okay.
I like that scene a lot. JJ
yeah,
does pretty good. I like him a lot as Jim Gordon.
Never turn your back on Batman.
Never turn your back on Batman. He looks. I didn't really. It didn't really hit me, or that I forgot how it happened in the Justice League. But he really looks like Jim Gordon, which is crazy how he can look almost exactly like 2 comic book characters.
This is just a comic man.
Yeah, he's just got that look down.
Did you see his workout regimen to be?
You mean Jim Gordon, and I mean GYM Gordon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think somebody sent it in one of our group chats. But yeah, I saw that photo.
None that I'm in. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure. Either way, but I'm pretty sure I saw it in a group chat.
Yeah, he was buff.
He was built. He's a unit.
But I didn't see him.
Which is so funny because if you've seen him in The Closer, he's such a chunky boy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Let's see.
I didn't see any muscles popping in the movie, though.
I didn't see it. It makes me wonder. Let's see, JK. He's such a chunky boy in the closer, but yeah, you never really see him need to be Jim Gordon. You know what I mean? Like, when I mean like I say Jim GYM, you don't see him take off his shirt or wear a muscle shirt or anything. He's wearing a full suit, and it's just like, okay, you were just doing that for you. Good on you.
Yeah, just personal life goals, I guess.
Because, like I said, in the closer, he's kind of a chunky boy. He had a little bit of that Boba Fett from Mandalorian going on. You know what I mean? That side profile with the belt. He had a
Oh,
little bit. He had a little bit of that going on,
that was a surprise.
and in the closer, yeah. So
That was a surprise reveal
that was a
for Boba.
Bubba.
Boba Fett.
That was a good reveal. But yeah, I did like Jim Gordon, which, that's kind of one of the things that maybe obviously they were doing that for longevity. They were establishing him because they were like, we're gonna make more. There's gonna be more Snyderverse.
Yeah, we're gonna make at least four more.
And so that they got J.K. Simmons in here. Jesse Eisenberg is back.
Oh, I forgot.
Jesse Eisenberg.
I like Jesse Eisenberg. I don't like his Lex Luthor.
Yeah, my sentiments exactly. I like Jesse Eisenberg. I just don't like his Lex Luthor. It's a very interesting dynamic that he's like the main villain of Superman.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
Exactly. The whole point of like Lex Luthor is it's kind of a brains versus brawn thing. And I'm not getting that from Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, I just see Braun.
I just see a bald Joker. That's what he is. I love bringing people together.
I see a bald Jesse Eisenberg.
And then can we get to like in my opinion, the worst pointless scene in this film is Jared Leto's. Why is he here? That's what angers me about, like, that's the scene they came back and shot.
To reshoot, yeah.
That's the scene that Zack Snyder comes back from a personal tragedy and calls Jared Leto in to film this absolutely moronic scene. Everything about it, the dialogue, the build up, it's just a dream. Like, already I hate that it was just a dream.
I thought you were gonna say the worst scene was the credits.
No,
Hallelujah.
stop. No.
Hallelujah.
No. I don't count the credits because that's when you leave the film. That's when you back out.
We stood there.
Because we
We
were
were hearing.
talking. And I wasn't even paying attention until I heard the lyrics and I heard the song start playing and I went, oh no. As if it wasn't insult to injury. It was a good movie.
So the Joker scene, I guess they were setting up. This looked like, to me, I didn't read into this. To me, it looked like far into the future of what would happen later fighting Darkseid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this was supposed to set up just like part two. Maybe that was Zach's plan. Like, all right, they finally let me stitch together my movie. Let me see if I could leave it on a cliffhanger and I could make part two, and then three, and then four, and then five, James Cameron style.
It feels like that when Mario Brothers ended in a like, come on guys, I need your help, like thinking there was gonna be a sequel. That's what it feels like.
I don't remember that.
Oh, you never saw Mario Brothers?
I've seen it when I was too young, and there's only a few scenes I remember. Like, I think I saw Yoshi, but that's it.
Super Mario Brothers ends with a certain character coming back after a tearful goodbye, and they come back and they say like,
No one's ever really gone.
guys, I need your help. And they're like, what? Okay, we're coming with you. And then it ends with them like leaving to go on this adventure or whatever, like thinking there's going to be a sequel. And obviously the movie did so badly that there wasn't.
So this is a very Mario Bros. Scene.
This is a very Mario Brothers scene. Yeah.
Because we have a evil Superman.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they just said Aquaman is dead.
And Diana, right?
Yeah.
It
Like,
just
what the heck? What are they
well,
trying to set up here
the
with this?
dialogue is so cringy. It's funny because
Fringe number 14.
cringe number 89.
All right.
Well, yeah, but before there were some scenes that were cringy. Don't get me wrong, but this is the highest cringe. The highest of all cringe with the way it's written. It's written so hokey that it's like I can't remember what he said exactly, but he's like, "Well, when I held Boy Wonder in my arms, he blamed you." And then he's like, "Funny, when I held Harley Quinn in my arms, she told me to stop you with everything that I could or whatever." And
She told me to kill you
she
nice
told
and
me to,
slow.
and then it's like,
And
"Oh,
I'm a man who keeps my
you
promise.
just had to kill Lois Lane." Like they're just really hammering in names and scenarios, and it's just so terribly written. And then
You could tell Zach really loves his Batman.
add on top of that, oh yeah, then add on top of that, he's holding a gun, which
Nice.
ugh, I'm not even gonna get into why I hate that. But anybody who
Caroline,
also
actually,
hates
the
it,
first appearance of Batman, he
I
was
am
holding
gonna
a gun,
smack
okay?
you through this
He used a
Zencaster.
gun plenty of times,
I am
actually.
no get out of this
I'm gonna
podcast.
send you,
Everybody, don't listen to
I'm gonna
him.
send you some scans
No,
of him
no, you're
holding a
not.
gun.
You're gonna
I thi
forget. You're gonna go to sleep, and you're not gonna
This is
remember
way
this.
back in the day,
No,
too.
no, you're not. No, no,
Yeah,
no,
this
no, no.
is, Adam West era Batman that was holding a gun.
You didn't see it, Caroline, but in the 1962 version of the Batman, he was holding an AK-47 when
In
he
the
fought the
comics.
Joker.
In the comics.
Oh my god, I hate the image of Batman holding a gun. It's so terrible. I hate it so much.
But it's true to the comics,
And
Caroline.
any Snyder boy that's like, actually, like Tony
Snyder
here
Boys
is
Unite!
so cringe. Go to bed, touch grass. It's just, I hate it
Brothers, we
so
must stay
much.
strong. We will restore the
Oh
Snyderverse.
my gosh. One hashtag at a time.
This is the next one. The one.
Restore the Snyderverse.
Restore the Snyderverse.
Uh, uh,
Restore Batman's gun.
uh,
Let Batman shoot again.
no. It's so cringe. It's so cringe. The Joker, Jared Leto's
Do
Joker
you
of
really
all
cringe to
people.
all these cringe lists? Because I
Absolute.
don't.
What you think? I'm just using that willy nilly?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm
You were
cringing.
cringing at these scenes.
Yes.
The lowest laid scenes where she's just laying in bed and stuff.
After like the 85th scene,
This is what
yeah.
I was trying to ask you, and you never answered it. I'm like, you're cringing watching just Lois Lane.
I'm answering it now, and yes.
Really?
What after like?
These are just normal scenes.
But it's the fact that it's like the sixth scene, and all we're seeing is her doing the same thing. She's like the "Where are you, Doctor?" in Sonic 2. It's just that's all we're seeing her do. She's like, "Where are you, Clark?" for like 25 times. After so
Yeah.
many, it gets so cringy. I'm like, okay, stop.
I don't think you really understood the depression she was going through.
Oh, Tony. The depression I'm going through right now, having to relive those moments in my head.
Which one, Lois Lane or the Joker?
Both. Not having to think about both of them at the same
The
time.
Joker had no tattoos on his face.
Yeah, they
He
cleaned him
cleaned
up.
up. He cleaned up.
Either that or they gave him some really good foundation. Makeup foundation.
And he's still annoying.
Very much annoying. That's I was riding the high of this movie towards the end. I was like, hey, you know what? That's not that bad. And then you were like, by the way, there's like Lord of the Rings endings in here. It's gonna fade in and out.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
gonna
was
take a
like,
little while.
oh, okay. All right. And then it progressively got worse and worse.
They should have
Martian
ended it at
They should have
Barry.
only had Martian Manhunter. They should have only had that one. And Barry, yeah. I'm like, I got the job. And then
I forgot
teased
what Martian Manhunter says.
I forgot Martian Manhunter, his whole purpose. Why did he dress up like Martha?
I don't know. Because I guess they all say like Lois is the key. They try to make her extra important. So I guess he needs to get her out of a rut.
I, yeah. Eh,
They're really trying to make her important.
a little too important. They've been trying to make her important since Man of Steel.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Yeah.
I love Amy Adams. I don't like Snyder's Lois Lane. But Martian Manhunter, is such a cool character, and he's there. Like that what gets me is that he's there, and
He was there the whole
they
time.
want us to believe that they're fighting Steppenwolf, and he's not gonna join. He's not gonna help. And what's
Maybe he was
worse,
there and he was like hiding as a parademon.
fighting other parademons as a
Maybe he
parademon.
shot Barry because that's the timeline that leads to him saving them.
Which one are we in? One.
I will not
Yeah.
hesitate to let either of you die.
But yeah, he was there and just let all this happen. It's kind of like the Eternals argument. It's like, you mean they were just there and didn't help with Thanos, and they're like, we can't intervene in Earth's
Yeah,
problems. That's what it felt like with Manhunter.
yeah, I
He's
agree.
and then he comes, and then only to be at the end of the movie to be like, now I'm ready to defend this planet. It's like, oh, now you are. We just went
Now
through.
I'm ready for justice.
Now I'm ready to join your
Let's league up.
this league of yours, a league of their own.
I'm ready to
Injustice
join your league.
of
How come
justice.
Batman didn't say league?
Nobody said league.
He could have at least said, I'm forming a league.
Yeah, I'm forming a league, or even have
We'll fight for justice.
even if you have Superman come up with it, because Superman's supposed to be the leader.
Yeah.
So even if you have him come up with a name, like, I came to join your little league.
Your little wait, who says that?
Nobody. That's the problem.
No, who would have said that in your version? I'm here to
Superman.
join your little league.
Superman.
You would have said that.
I'm just spitballing here,
I'm
man.
here to join your stupid little league.
But like, it's a joke
Superman.
because of baseball.
We just came up with the name. It's dumb. Are you evil Superman or
No, but he would have said it playfully or something. I'm just spitballing here, man. You have to take everything so
I'm here to
seriously.
join your little league?
I'm here to join your little league of justice.
Listen, I don't know anything about DC, all right? But I think it was a little strange that Batman was doing the recruiting.
Yeah, you're right. He shouldn't.
It didn't feel right.
That was the awkwardness of it all, and that's why he was failing.
But also, if Superman was recruiting, he would have done it
If Superman was recruiting, all of them would have said yes.
in 10 seconds.
Yeah, he would have gotten them all. You can't say no to Superman. Come on.
He would have flew around the world, and it only would have took as long as
it would have been
them
so
saying
cool
yes.
of like Barry failing the job interview. He walks out the door, and Superman is floating down, his cape in the wind. You hear the music, and he's like, "I'm putting together a team." And Barry's like, "Yes,
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in." He would have done the same thing to Aquaman.
Wait, you didn't even say league that time.
I-
I'm forming a league.
I didn't realize I had to commit to the bit.
We're trying to get league to be said in the movie.
He gets them all together in the fortress, and he starts
his fortress of solitude.
He starts his own PowerPoint, and he's like, "I'm calling it the Justice League." And nobody says no.
Is it too late to change the name?
No, Batman says, "Is it too late to change the name?
Is it too late to change the name?
Is it too late to change the name?
We could call it the Bat League."
And he's like, "No, I already filed the paperwork.
I already filed for the trademark.
It's ours. Under Wayne Enterprises.
Patent pending."
It should have been Superman.
I think so too.
That's mistake number 1.
Mistake number 2.
Kal-El, no.
Amber Heard.
Are we gonna open up that can of worms?
She wasn't in the movie very much.
And when she was
very pretty good.
She was a very passionate actor.
She was sucking out blood from Steppenwolf underwater, under the sea.
Yeah, she was. Her hair wasn't as red.
No.
As it is in Aquaman, the movie.
Well, this is a Zack Snyder joint, so
nothing is ever as colorful.
Nothing is.
Aquaman did her right in her appearance.
Yeah, that was blazing red.
It was a good red. She looked great.
Let's not compliment her anymore.
I think we're done talking about Amber Heard.
I think that's also... I don't know. Did we cover all the characters?
I'm trying to go over in my
Cyborg.
head who we haven't talked about.
You hated him.
I feel like he could have been handled better, or just not in this movie. Why? I mean, I get it. Like, why? When I say why is Cyborg in this movie, the plot very much includes him. I'm talking about from a planning perspective. Why did they pick Cyborg to be in this movie when he's not? I think later in the comics he joins the Justice League. He's originally a Teen Titan, and he's famous for being
Well, actually,
in the
Caroline,
Titans.
I'm kidding. I know nothing about this.
The sigh that I have just released. It's like all my breath out in one
He
shot. I
just
was
looked
just
very weird, very awkward.
I pointed out his jaw movement, and I feel like that's a CG thing. Like
I just didn't
the
like the way he walked
"Do you bleed?" moment. He was like, he's always talking like that, moving his jaw.
the way he just stood there and the way he would like rotate around his body always looked really awkward.
His clothes were definitely CG'd on. Those are not real sweats.
I don't know. Wouldn't it be easier to have real sweats?
I don't know. I
He
was
puts it
looking
over
at
the pajama.
I was staring at him when he would be in those sweats, and the lighting just wasn't quite right.
Well, the lighting is definitely CG. Yeah, why would it be a fake hoodie?
It just didn't look real. That's what I'm saying. It didn't look real.
It wasn't a good looking character.
Yeah. I mean, all the ridges. I guess because what they're also doing is that he's made from the mother box, so
Yeah.
he's supposed to look alien, but I don't know. I feel like you could have put another character in there that's
Sometimes
actually
he
in the
looks like he had a
Justice League.
hunchback.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's just I feel bad because Cyborg himself, great character. I love Cyborg. He's awesome. But he's the lamest character in this movie.
Lamer than Willem Dafoe.
Lamest Justice League member in this movie.
Oh, all right. Should we talk about Darkseid? Is there enough?
No, I don't think so. I
You
mean,
saw the Omni Ray.
yeah, also I don't know a lot about Darkseid. I'm a little uneducated in that
No, that's
area.
just Thanos.
Is it just DC Thanos?
No one's gonna disagree with that. It's just Thanos.
Well, actually, Tony, Darkseid's real intentions are not that of Thanos. Thanos is trying to take the world's resources, but Darkseid is trying to corrupt the world and take it as his own and find the anti-life equation.
Classic bad guy maneuver. Terraform Earth.
Make it his own.
Make it his own. I mean, are we the bad guys, Caroline? Because that's what we're trying to do with Mars.
Oh my gosh.
You ever thought about that?
Let's put a pin in that conversation. I don't think I have
Let's
enough.
explore this some more. That's what this podcast is about.
That's what Papa Musk is trying to do. Terraform Mars.
Yeah.
Is he terraforming it? He's not changing anything about
He has to.
the structure of the planet.
We will eventually once we start putting skyscrapers on there. But he has to in the beginning so it could be breathable.
But I mean, that's like what they did in Lightyear. They're just building settlements, domes of oxygen, things like that.
Right.
But he's not trying to like level the planet.
Well, he had a wild idea of dropping nukes on Mars. This would create the greenhouse effect where it would block out enough UV or whatever and then also make Mars habitable.
Wow.
Yeah. Something more scientific than that, but you know.
That's the Cliff Notes
Yeah.
explanation.
But definitely drop nukes.
Fascinating.
And then you can start building, yeah.
Huh.
So are we the bad guys? Because that's basically what Zod was doing and what Darkseid was doing.
I guess if you want to put it like that.
You gave into that very easily.
We are. What? You don't want me to? You want pushback?
That's what this is about.
No, we're not, because there's no living life forms on Mars, so it's ours for the taking.
Wow, you sound like Darkseid right now.
There, did I do it? Did I do a good job playing the other side? Pushing back, huh?
So it's ours for the taking.
I was intentional with my words.
Okay. I spelled league wrong in my notes. I'm looking at it now. Look at that.
And your little league.
You won't believe which letter I forgot.
Did you spell log? Did you forget the E in league?
Did we cover everything?
I think we covered everything I wanted to cover. Do you have anything else you wanted to cover about this? We have our podcast episode is half the length of this film.
And that's saying something.
Yeah.
We're done.
We're done. Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to our ranting and rambling. If you're hearing us on Spotify or any of your favorite podcasting platforms and you're a first-time listener, do us a favor, please. If you want to hear more from us, that is, give us a follow, hit the bell icon if you want notifications from us. If you're a returning listener, an honest review, please. If you're hearing us on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon.
Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for listening, Snyder fans. Caroline, thanks for watching and talking about this movie. I'm glad I got you to watch it by force. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse.
No, I don't endorse this.
50% of Elbow Nudge endorses this.
Elbow nudge.
And last thing, I won't leave you hanging. I forgot the letter A in league.